Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Hakodash. Alright, Yahweh being named Heavenly Father, meaning He is, He exists, He to be. Ba'in, Ha, the, Sham, name, Yahushai, being named the begotten Son, meaning He delivered, He saves, Hakodash, Holy Spirit. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, peace and blessings unto the elect of Israel. Shalom and Abba Ball. Back at it again with another lesson of the Spirit of Power, Yahweh Bashmel Shai. Lord willing, this video is edifying. And I want to get into this lesson through the Spirit. This is something just to be mindful of. What Yahweh Shai said, what ye did unto the least of these, my brethren, ye did so unto me. Okay? And what does that mean? Let's get straight into it. Matthew 25 and 32. And before him, let me start up a little bit. Let's go to the book of Matthew, the 25th chapter. Matthew 25 and 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. That's right. That's talking about Yahweh Shai's return with the angels, chariots, and so on and so forth. Right? Yahweh Shai is going to sit upon his throne of glory, meaning his kingdom is going to be established here on the planet Earth. Verse 32. And before him shall be gathered all nations. And that's the Spirit, because earlier tonight, brothers, at fellowship, sometimes we'll do a trivia game, scriptural trivia game. And one of the questions that was asked tonight was, what are the table of nations? So that's the Spirit. But nonetheless, it says, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. Right? So pretty much the Lord is getting ready to sift his elect from the wicked. Okay? He's going to sever the elect from the wicked, just like how the Lord is going to purge the dross, from the fine gold and that silver, right? That dross represents the filth of the wickedness of our people. And the elect are likened unto that fine gold, and that precious silver. Okay? The scriptures say how the house of Israel shall be sifted among the nations, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. Also, the scriptures say how ye shall discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Lord and him that serveth him not. Roughly paraphrasing. 2 Ezra 16, then shall they know who are my chosen, right? So the Lord is making it more and more manifest and clear in these last days who the elect truly are. Okay? So I'm going to read this again, Matthew 25 and 32. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. That's right. The sheep represent the elect. The goats represent the wicked, the 2/3, the heathen, so on and so forth. Verse 33, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left, right? And the right hand represents righteousness, the left hand represents evil. Okay, the left hand also represents the sinister side of the Most High, so to speak. Okay, the evil side of the Most High, because Isaiah 45 and 7, which is not limited to that only precept, but basically Isaiah 45 and 7 says, I create peace and evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Amos 3 and 6 says, shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it, right? But the Most High is righteous in all his works. So, even in the Most High's evil side, it's still righteous because it's according to the ways of judgment, okay? But nonetheless, the point being what? The left-hand side represents evil, the right-hand side represents righteousness, okay? Verse 34, then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Right? Okay? So that's talking about the elect. The elect have been preordained since the foundation of the world. There's many different scriptures talking about how the elect have been preordained, predestinated, prepared aforetime, so on and so forth, right? Verse 35, for I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily, who's that king? That king is Yahushua. Okay? And it says, and the king shall answer and say unto them, verily, meaning truly, I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto the one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. That's right. So pretty much the point being, how you treat brothers is how you treat Yahushua, from the highest ranking brother to the camp and to the lowest ranking brother in the camp. Okay? Salakia, tongue getting all tied up. Okay? But the point being what? You have to treat every brother with respect, like how you would treat Yahushua. Because guess what? They're all still a part of Yahushua's body. Like Scripture say, now we are basically members in the church or in the body of Yahushua, and members in particular. So are all healers, are all miracle workers, do all teach, do all prophesy, do all speak tongues, roughly paraphrasing, right? So each brother got their own office. So just because one brother might not be the highest ranking brother in the camp doesn't mean that you don't still show that brother respect like you would show Yahushua. For instance, body parts, right? Let's say for a man, right? A man's body parts in most cases, his comely body parts would be like what? His arms looking muscular, his legs, his calves, his abs, his chest, his back, so on and so forth, right? Those body parts you see on a man, you're like, damn, that man got muscles, right? But guess what? That man still has ligaments, he still has bones, he still has fingers and ankles and so on and so forth, right? And now those other body parts, they're not the ones that you flash on Instagram looking all flexed up and stuff like that, right? But those body parts still matter. So it's like the same thing with the brothers who might be lower in rank. Yeah, they might not be the most profound, deepest brother, know all the scriptures, so on and so forth. But guess what? They're still a part of the body, man. Okay? If you chop someone's pinky toe off, it's still going to affect them in comparison to you chopping off their bicep, right? Yeah, the bicep might be the part where you use to flex with, but the pinky toe matters too, right? So pretty much the point being what of the analogy that I'm trying to say is that each member of the body plays a role. 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter goes into that. Romans 12:4, so on and so forth. So we can't be puffed up one against another and think just because you might be over another brother in the spirit, you treat him some type of way. Okay, you got to remember that brother still is a part of the body of Yahweh Shemashai, and you still have to move with a level of godly reverence and respect towards that brother, man, because he is still a part of the priesthood. Okay? Now, let's continue. Verse 41, then shall he say unto them on the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels, right? And see this, people read this scripture and they get it all confused. They thinking that Satan rebelled against the Most High and Satan took a third of the angels and they fell down to earth. That's all BS, okay? Satan still works for the Most High to this very day, okay? Read the book of Job. You see? Satan still works for the Most High to this very day. He's just on the left-hand side. Okay, 1 Kings 22 and 22, if I'm not mistaken, goes into how there was an evil spirit, right? And that evil spirit still works for the Most High. Okay? But the thing about it is, they're just on the left-hand side. All right? And the scripture speaks of how the devils tremble and fear before the Most High. So if the devils tremble and fear before the Most High, and the Most High changes not, why would Satan rebel against the Most High, man? Satan takes orders from the Most High, man. Okay? So that devil and his angels is really talking about Esau, Edom, and Esau's messengers. Those who follow behind Esau, Edom. Those who are attached to this beast system. If you can receive it. Okay? Verse 42, for I was an hungered, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me not in. Naked, and ye clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and ye visited me not. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee in hungered, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Right? Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did it not to the one of these least of these, ye did it not to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. That's it. So we got to make sure that we're treating brothers with respect, man. Okay? Yes, it's order. You have to know those who are over you in the spirit, right? But you also have to acknowledge the brethren who are under you in the spirit and treat them with respect too. This is our 1 Thessalonians 5, starting at verse 11. Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you, and are over you in the spirit, and are over you in the Lord, and admonish you. And to 1 Thessalonians 5 and 12, and we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you, and are over you in the Lord, and admonish you, and to esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake, and be at peace among yourselves. That's right. Okay? That's the point. So we got to esteem those who are over us in the spirit. We got to show them high respect and reverence. Okay? And we have to also be at peace among ourselves. You know, brothers, sometimes schisms do happen, but brothers should be endeavoring to keep that unity in the spirit, and certain things are just not worthy of responding to, or, just adding unnecessary drama or creating unnecessary schisms within the body, man. Okay? Verse 14, now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient toward all men. Okay? See that none render evil for evil unto any man, but ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men. That's it. Okay, so that's what we should be practicing. But let me get this precept real quick. This is the balance of it, right? Because this is a scripture pretty much highlighting the fact how we're supposed to treat the younger brethren or the older brethren, Salakia, with respect. Now, this scripture right here is going into, having care for the younger brethren. 1 Peter 5, starting at verse 1, the elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Mashiach, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Feed the flock of Yahweh Bashem Shai, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. That's it. Okay, so that's the type of spirit we should be coming in. We should be willing to feed the flock with a ready mind. Okay? Willing heart, not just like, oh gosh, I gotta do my lesson. Oh gosh, younger brother calling me, asking me a question I gotta answer. Like it's a burden or something, man. It's a privilege to be in this truth, man. Don't ever get in that spirit like it's a burden. And we're in the flesh. Sometimes, you might not always feel up to par and feel like doing something. But don't get caught up with that spirit of, oh, it's a burden. Because really, it's a privilege. That's what it really is. Okay, the Lord could take the spirit off you, put it on another man who's more than happy to do the work, man. Okay? Verse 3, here's the point. Neither as being lords over the Most High's heritage, but being ensamples to the flock. That's right. It's not about exercising lordship. Like, let's say you're over a brother in the spirit. It's not about you exercising lordship, you trying to establish your dominance in the spiritual food chain. No, it's about being an example to the younger brothers, man. So that younger brothers could look up to you and be like, man, I see Yahweh Shai and that brother, the Wadi Al-Bashmal Shai. Okay? That's what it really should be. It says that when the chief shepherd shall appear. That's right, because we all have a boss. The only person that doesn't technically have a boss is the Most High Yahweh. So here it is. You might be over someone, but guess what? Someone is over you. Okay? And so on and so forth, man. All right? And Yahweh Shai, he's the chief. He is that chief shepherd. But who's over Yahweh Shai? The Most High. Okay? And who's over the Most High? Nobody. That's a trick question. Okay? Verse 4, when the chief, 1 Peter 5 and 4, when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. Right, so there's a reward for taking care of the flock. Serving Yahweh Bashem Shai, ministering to the saints. Okay? There is a reward for that. Hebrews, the 6th chapter, goes into that. All right, here's verse 5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Right, so, brothers who are younger in the faith, brothers who are older than you, be subject unto them, man. Okay, if an older brother tells you to do something, you know, he's watching for your soul, like it tells you in the book of Hebrews. So don't be all proud and try to buck up and rebel against what the brother's saying. The brother's telling you that for your good, okay? You know, especially if you know that brother's of a good report. Now, sometimes you have certain circumstances and situations where brothers who might be over you in rank are giving you bad advice, but that's not always the case, you know. But that's where you go back to that spiritual discernment, the praying, scriptures, so on and so forth, man. Okay? The scriptures say, be not made an underling to a foolish man. But I'm talking about in the sense of, hypothetically speaking, you have solid brothers around you who are sincere and who are serving Yahweh Shai in truth and in spirit. Okay? But sometimes that does happen where you do have people who are over you in the spirit and they're foolish men. Okay? Job 32:8, you know? Sirach 4:28. Okay? Read verse 5 again. 1 Peter 5:5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, right? Because at the end of the day, we all have to be subject to the spirit of Yahweh Shai. So just because a brother might be younger than you doesn't mean he can't correct you. Don't ever get that twisted. Okay, and vice versa. Just because a brother is older than you doesn't mean you don't have to listen to him, man. Okay, because you do have to be subject to that brother who's older than you. And the brother who's younger than you, if he's on point with what he's saying, you got to be subject to him too, because the Spirit of the Lord is working through him to correct you, man. And that's where the humility comes in. That's why the scripture says it's better to be, let me get that real quick. Bear with me. Okay, Ecclesiastes 4:13, it says, better is a poor and a wise child than an old and foolish king who will no more be admonished, right? So you don't want to be in that spirit of, yeah, you might be over a brother in rank, but you don't want to be that old foolish king who cannot take heed to rebuke, okay? You know, and let's say you are, quote unquote, rebuking someone who is over you in the spirit, you do it with respect and order. Scripture say 1 Corinthians 14:40, let all things be done decently and in order. So you do it with respect. Let's say a brother who's over you in the spirit, in ranking, he might have slipped up, made a mistake, whatever. If you're going to correct him, you correct him in order. Okay, you don't upbraid him, rebuke him in pride, you know, try to flex up on a brother like, yeah, I know something that older brother don't know. No, that's out of order, man. Okay, same thing what happened with Joab and King David. When King David wanted to number Israel, Joab technically rebuked King David, but he did it in order. Okay, let's get an example of that. Okay, 1 Chronicles 21:1. And Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. And David said to Joab and to the rulers of the people, go, number Israel from Beersheba even to Dan, and bring the number of them to me that I may know it. And Joab answered, the Lord make his people 100 times so many more as they be. But my Lord the king, so he's understanding his order. He's showing him respect and reverence, right? Are they not all my Lord's servants? Why then doth my Lord require this thing? Why will he be a cause of trespass to Israel? You see? Nevertheless, the king's word prevailed against Joab, right? So, like the scriptures say, where is the word of a king, there is power, and none may say unto him, what doest thou? So at the end of the day, you know, whoever's the leader, the ruler, you know, at the end of the day, what they say is the final say so, you know. But you don't want to be a leader over somebody and still not be able to take and hear correction from someone who's younger than you in the spirit or lower than you in rank, but yet they still have profitable correction. Okay, now this was all set up through the spirit, but I'm just bringing this out as an example of Joab technically rebuking King David, but doing it decently and in order. He wouldn't just say, oh, King David, you got to follow me now because, you know, I rebuked you, you going off. He showed him respect. He said, my Lord the King. He showed him reverence, man. Even though King David was technically going off. Okay? So it says, nevertheless, the king's word prevailed against Joab, wherefore Joab departed and went throughout all Israel, and it came to Jerusalem. And Joab gave the sum of the number of the people unto David, and all they Israel were 1,000, 100,000 men that drew sword, and Judah was 400, 10,000 men that drew sword. But Levi and Benjamin counted he not among them, for the king's word was abominable to Joab. Okay, right. Because why? Joab understood in the spirit that he was going off. So he was like, man, I ain't even going to number Levi and Benjamin. Okay? Because he understood that was off. You know, you're not supposed to take a census of the nation of Israel. You know, Israel's supposed to be innumerable. Okay? You know? But the point being what? He was in order. He was in order. Okay, Joab was in order when he rebuked King David. So I'm saying this in a sense for brethren who may be younger than another brother who's over than you in rank and in the spirit. Let's say he make a mistake and the spirit is on you to correct him. Make sure you do it in an order. Okay? And which segues perfectly into this next precept. I might have to go back on that 1 Peter, but we'll see how the spirit has it set up. 1 Timothy 5:1, rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father. Right, so when you're dealing with brothers who are over you in the spirit, elderly brothers, you know, brothers who are elders, you know, like Scripture say, rebuke not an elder. So you're not supposed to upbraid an elder, disrespectful, you know, talk to an elder any type of disrespectful type of way, rebuke an elder any type of way, man. No, it says, but entreat him as a father. And the Scripture says you're supposed to honor your father, right? It says, here's the point, and the younger men as brethren. Right, so just because a brother might be younger than you in the spirit, lower than you in the rank, you don't just look at him as he's insignificant because he's a younger brother. Hey, you the younger brother, so let me put my feet on your back as a footrest, you know? No, okay? You're supposed to treat him as brethren, you know? Be brotherly, okay? Show him how he should conduct himself as a young man coming up in the ranks in this truth, you know? And I'm a young man myself, okay? You know, but the point being what? We're supposed to be examples, bro, okay? But let me land back on this 1 Peter 5. I want to make sure that I got all the meat off that bone. 1 Peter 5, and I'll read verse 3 again. Neither as being lords of the Most High's heritage, but being ensamples to the flock. That's right, we're supposed to be examples to the flock, man. Verse 4, and when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. So that's the order. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, right? Because going back to following the way of the spirit. Just because a brother might be younger than you doesn't mean he can't correct you, okay? He is still part of the body of Yahweh Shemashai. It says, and be clothed with humility, for Yahweh Shemashai resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble. That's it, okay? So now, let's go to Romans 12. So I quoted it earlier, but let's read it. Romans 12, starting at verse 3. For I say through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as Yahweh Shemashai hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office, so we, being many, are one body in Mashiach, and everyone members one of another. That's right. So the point being what? We can't think of ourselves. We can't be puffed up one against another. All right? You know, in a vain mind, thinking, oh, yeah, brother, I'm over you in the spirit. I'm over you in rank, brother. So, you know, you can't tell me nothing, Ak. You the youngest brother in the camp. What do you know? Nah, definitely not. Definitely not the mindset to have. Okay? Not at all. And you act like you're the reason why you're up in that rank. The Most High made you of that rank, man. And guess what? Yahweh Shemashai is over you in the spirit. So, you know, you over here acting like you the top nigga. Okay? Now, there is order. You do have men who are high in the ranks, spiritually speaking. But at the same time, you got to understand that, yes, you may be a master unto many brethren, but you as well have a master yourself. So don't get too high-minded. 1 Corinthians 4:6, and these things, brethren, I have in a figure transferred to myself and to Apollos for your sakes, that you might learn in us not to think of men above that which is written, that no one of you be puffed up for one against another. For who maketh thee to differ from another? And what hast thou that thou didst not receive? Now if thou didst receive it, why dost thou glory as if thou hadst not received it? That's right. You're acting like you self-made. You received that gift from Yahweh Shemashai to know this truth. Okay? So we got to move humbly, man. Just because a brother may be younger than you in the spirit doesn't mean you just shit on him. Okay? Does not work like that. You got to understand Yahweh Shemashai is still dealing with that brother. Treat that brother with respect. Just like how you would treat the head of the camp with respect, you treat the least ranking brother with the same amount of respect. Okay, now, of course, like I said, there's order. There is order. Okay, but you still got to treat every brother fairly and with respect. Ooh, let me get this real quick. What happens when we're casting judgment? Deuteronomy 1, and I'll start at verse 16. It says, and I charge your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with him. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is Yahweh Shemashai's, and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. That's it. So we're supposed to have respect unto judgment. We're not supposed to, just have respect for a man just because he might be over another man when it comes to executing judgment in true justice and equity, man. We are not supposed to be respected of persons. The scriptures speak about how the Most High careth for all alike, both the small and the great. Let me see if I can get that precept. That's in Wisdom of Solomon. So the Most High, he's that way. Wisdom of Solomon 6, starting at verse 7. For he which is Lord over all shall fear no man's person, neither shall he stand in awe of any man's greatness. For he hath made the small and great, and careth for all alike. That's right. The Most High not a respecter of persons. So the Most High, Romans 2:11. For there is no respect of persons with Yahweh Shemashai. So the Lord, he shows the same just judgment for the small and the great. So just because a brother might be over you or under you in the spirit, you still have to not be a respecter of persons when it comes to judgment. Still show that equity and respect and that fairness. Okay? Romans 12 and verse 6. Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith, or ministry, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching, Romans 12 and 8, or he that exhorteth on exhortation, he that giveth, let him do it with simplicity, he that ruleth with diligence, he that sheweth mercy with cheerfulness, let love be without dissimulation, abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. That's right. So point being what? We all have different gifts. So whatever your gift is, you do that gift. Okay, but we're all supposed to show each other that same amount of respect. Even though just because you might not be the prophet we are technically are prophets, but the point being, some brothers literally have that gift of prophecy. Some brothers literally have the gift of ministering, being a help. Okay, being a treasurer, being a captain, being the camp head, being a second in command, third in command, so on and so forth. Teaching, okay. Exhortation, so on and so forth. Each brother has their own particular gift, so you have to learn to appreciate each brother for their gift and show respect to each brother. Even though, brother might have a different gift from you. Yeah, you might know a lot of precepts, and another brother in your camp might not know much precepts. But guess what? The Lord's still dealing with that brother, man. So you show that brother respect, man. Okay? Read verse 9 again, Romans 12 and 9. Let love be without dissimulation, abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. So we're supposed to hate evil and love the good. And we're supposed to love each other without dissimulation. Okay? Okay? Verse 10, Romans 12 and 10, be kindly affectioned one to another with brotherly love and honor, preferring one another. Right, so we should be looking to promote brothers over ourselves. We should, Philippians 2 and 3, look not every man on his own things, but every man on the things of others, man. Okay, so we should be in that spirit of looking to promote brethren over ourselves, man. Not just, yeah, brother, I'm over you, so you gotta, bow down to me, y'all. Okay? And even though, scripture say bow your head to a great man, but it's like, is the spirit you coming in? Are you coming in that proud spirit, that lordship spirit? Because Yahushua said, he that is greatest among you, let him be your servant. Sirach, the 3rd chapter, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself, man. Yahushua said, the Son of Man didn't come to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a ransom unto many. He said, the Gentiles exercise lordship, but for you it shall not be so. But he that is chief among you, let him be your servant. Roughly paraphrasing, man. Okay? So if you're over a brother in the spirit, really, you're supposed to be the brother who is younger than your spirit, you're supposed to be his servant, man. The elder shall serve the younger. Even though that was written about Esau and Jacob, but spiritually extrapolating. Okay? So that's the point. I believe the point has been made. Lord willing, this video was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Shai, Bashim Kadash, double honors to the apostles of this great most, never well, peace, blessing, like the Israel, Shalom, and the Bible.